Well, today I'm trying some SIT power steel strings on this bad boy. I've experimented with different brands. Let me see if I can count. First, it came with MTD strings. Then I tried DR fat beams, which is my standard string to know if a bass sounds good or not. Then I tried DR lowrider stainless steel, because they are known to be very aggressive and gritty with a lot of punch. Then I tried Deodaro Pro Steel. Have a lot of edge. It lasts long. It's very edgy. Sparkling highs. The mids are a little less than DR Fat Beams, but Deodaro Pro Steel sounds good. Then I tried Dunlop Super Bright. Sounds pretty good too on the bass. Then I tried, that was Dunlop Super Bright stainless steel. Then I was going to shoot for a different size. Instead of light gauge, go to medium. They made a mistake and sent me some Dunlop Super Bright nickel light gauge. Sounded pretty good too, but that's one, I wanted more sizzle. Then I tried the Andre Goucher Labella strings with a green silk. That hurt my fingers. Then I tried Zon strings. Sounded really good. It was a very light gauge. Very, very light. It was like extra light. Felt good, sounded good. Didn't last long. Okay, the Dunlop Super Bright doesn't last more than 2 weeks. I play every day. So after 14 days, they're trash. Did I try Dean Markley? No, I didn't try Dean Markley, because they're taper core, and I don't like when my bass saddles are way up like a tower. When the strings are taper core, you have to raise the saddles, a little more to compensate with the rest of the strings. That was the B and a couple of the strings were taper core. Anyway, forget about that. I didn't try Dean Markley SR2000, because I know what they sound like, I know what they feel. I don't like the numbers they come with, 6 to 2, 6 to 3 and all kind of stuff. I like even numbers like 4 to 6 to 8 to 100 or 4 to 5, 6 to 5, 8 to 5, 1 to 5, 1 to 5. There's another string that I tried. I wish I'd written down everything. Then I tried, I think I tried DR Lowrider's nickel. Did I? Yeah, okay. Anyway, today I'm using SIT Power Steel. Did I try SIT Super Rock Brights? I believe so. Anyway, but the SIT, yes, I tried Ernie Ball Cobalt. Those strings are amazing. Beefy tone, thick fundamentals for days. That might be one of the best sounding string, I believe, so far. In terms of all-round, whatever you want to do, it has it, It has the warmth of nickel, and it has the snap of stainless steel. It feels pretty good on the fingers. One thing I wish was light gauge I went with, light gauge, but they don't make a 120 on the B, which I like. They had a 125, but that was alright. I worked that and, sounded good. I noticed the B string die out faster than the rest of the strings. This is about the third time, because I experiment a lot. But the third time it happened, with the B string sounded like rubbery after 2 weeks, and the rest of the strings still had the, the gritty metallic piano like that. Yeah, these are SITs. So far I'm like, these feels good. It sounds good for this particular bass. My previous bass, when I put SITs on it, SIT doesn't seem to have a lot of mid punch to me. These SIT Rock Brights or Power Steel, one or the other, doesn't seem to have the mid-range presence like, let's say, DR Fat Beams or on Ernie Ball Cobalts. But my bass has so much mids, the roasted ash body and the Wenge stuff, tremendous mid, so it doesn't lack anything, and I'm digging these strings. I like the sparkle. It make my bass sound closer to like a jazz bass tone single coil pickups than any other strings that I've used so far. So I'm kind of digging this right now. I might have to call up SIT and say, hey man, it's your boy Malcolm, hook me up. Yeah, so I'm digging these. Yeah, so that's about strings. Oh yeah, I try. Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's funny. Oh yeah. So I had DR neons. The green one, because my bass has some green in it. The neon green. Those strings, they sound good. Sounds, fat and kind of round and warm and spongy, beefy kind of. But the volume is very low. It's like I have to crank up my amp like 25% more to get the normal volume that I play with other strings. And one thing I didn't like, because I experimented 3 times with these exact strings. The G is a 30, C, G. One of the string. Yeah, I think it was I think it was a D string. It sounded like nylon string, and the rest of the strings had the metal wrap around it. The rest of the strings sounded metallic, like you get the kind of bang, ting, 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 ting. But one particular strings it just sounded muffled, like with no highs. It just sounds like rubber, like that. It sounded like that, and the rest of the strings sounded like this. And the other songs and that particular one sounded like muffled. So I'm done with that. I would never use that again unless they correct that. Anyway, yeah, I can't think of any other string that I use. I attempted to use some Ken Smith string, but I changed my mind. That's a long story. Ken Smith was mean to me years ago, man, so I decided not to partake on the strings. I mean, I would still use the strings if somebody gave me one for free, but I already know when I used to use Ken Smith string, they don't last more than 7 days. They sound harsh, and they die. With my body chemistry, it doesn't work for me. It didn't work for me. Maybe they're good strings for, some other bass or something, whatever. Yeah, but these, yes, let me show you what it is. Yes. Oh, let me talk about this now. So, this is a 30, right? For the C string on a 6-string bass. I always hear to say, oh, these, manufacturers say the strings are well balanced and proportionately string to string, they feel good across the board. But for me, like for instance, I like DR strings, DR fat beams, because they feel pretty much, when you bend a string, it's the same amount of pressure. I do it like this. Let's say on whatever fret, the first string, push that, go to the second string, 2 frets away, push it up, it must feel the same amount of pressure, and keep going up like this. Because if you do it across the board like this, obviously the lower strings are going to feel more, loose, rubber, like softer, like this. Of course, because of the mathematics and the size of the string and the tension and all of that. So, with my mechanical engineering self, I came up mentally with this idea that if you do, because of the size of the string and the length and all of that, I go like 2 frets down for every string as the string gets bigger, thicker in diameter, like. And that feels like I'm pushing with the same amount of pressure. Anyway, I just made that up on my own. That works for me. That's my belief. Anyway, that's nothing, that hasn't been approved by the scientists or whatever. So okay, so check this out. The strings that I like. So yeah, I was saying about string tension across the board and all of that. To me, like, let's go with a 5-string bass, especially because of the string size. I'm going to get to the C in a minute. 46 to 80, 100, 120 feels good to me. But some packs has like 40, 45, 65, 80, 100. As soon as they drop that ratio from in 20s, like 40, 60, like, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, think of it like $20 bills, Somebody give you 40, they add another 20, 60, 80, 100, or $120. But somebody give you $40, somebody give you $45, and they give you $65. You expect to have $85 next, but they give you $80. Like, what's happened to my $5? Anyway, I don't even know why I'm saying all these. It just sounds like weird, but I understand what I'm saying. So, I like the numbers goes up in like 20s. To me, it feels good on the fingerboard to me. So, SIT Power Steel. This is a 30. It's a brand new 30. I didn't use it because I was experimenting. So when I bought these strings for my C string, I bought a 30 because normally the pack is 30, then 40, 60, 80, 100, 120. Thankfully, they had a 25, so I bought the 25 gauge as well, and I said I'm going to try that first. I tried the 25, and hey, I feel right at home because the amount of pressure that I'm using to push on the C string, it's less than on the second string, the G string. And normally with a 30 here, this is 25 right now, with a 30, it feels stiffer than the bigger string, which is a 40, 30, because that's just 10 different, numerically or whatever. It's 30, then 40. Instead, it probably should have been 20, 40, 60, but I think a 20 for a C string might be a bit too thin and soft and flimsy sounding, exactly like a guitar. So the 25, is kind of at least better than, it's a better ratio than 30, then 40. So 25, then 40 is like 15 away. So that kind of worked out really good. So I'm going to be using 25 for my C string now because it feels good and still sounds thick enough. Yeah, so that was it for strings. I'm going to be rocking these. Yeah, they last pretty long because I remember I had another bass with some SIT strings with it for about 8 to 10 months, in the summer, and they sounded good, Eventually the bass was recently sold, so. But it seems to me like, I haven't been using SIT strings on every one of my bass because it depends on what bass you have. I always feel like I lack mid-range punch. So, but this bass has so much mids with the roasted ash body and the Wen G neck or the Wenge neck, the burl maple top and the Bradley electronics and the yes sir. Yeah, so it works very good with this wood combination. I know you already know, but just in case you don't know, this is the MTD 63424, 34 in scale. 24 frets, 6 strings. This is the first of the exact wood combination in a 6 string. Ask Mike, he'll tell you yes. Roasted swamp ash, Wenge neck, Wenge fingerboard, brown maple top. So, that's my string experience. But for this particular bass, I'm digging these SIT strings. Piano. Then let's do some back pickup stuff. The mids are nice. But what I really enjoy about these strings, as I said earlier, it brings me closer to like a single coil jazz bass tone. So far, I'm digging that, Who don't like a jazz tone? So, I'm pretty happy. So, after this conversation, I'm going to have to call up my guy from SIT right there and say, hey, bro, I'm in. Well, this is your boy Malcolm, and thanks for listening to me. I know, you're probably on your lunch break now, and it's about 40 minutes and 49 seconds so far I'm talking, Thanks for listening to me. Take care. God bless you.